Hey, before we get up out of here, man, we got 4 minutes left in here, man. Quick thoughts on the whole LSU situation last night. LSU ended up winning the national championship. By the way, appreciate you guys tuning in. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. LSU ends up winning the national championship last night in the women's league. You said what?
You brought the wrong topic up at the end of the show, Pat.
Well, I wanted to get it in before it's not really a topic no more.
This is a clip right here. We gonna clip this part.
Hey, listen, it is what it is. Everybody seems to have a problem with Angel Reese, who did the same thing that Caitlin has done the entire tournament with taunting. Caitlin Clark came out taunting. She's been very disrespectful to her opponents. Disrespectful, right? If that's the word that you want to use. I see it as competitive. I see two women that were competing very hard, and I'm not going to lie to you, very rarely do I jump on this side of the fence with anything. But why are you holding women to a different standard to men when it comes to being competitive? They are competing. They are rivals. Guess what? I hope they both make the WNBA, which they should, and that they play each other for the rest of their careers on opposite teams.
And I want to follow this storyline like a WWE. Well, I'll tell you right now, I'm invested. I'm invested. I really don't get it. I don't understand, you know. And then I don't want to get into the whole racial aspect of it because it did seem like it was a stark contrast.
Well, here's the thing. We shouldn't be surprised. I'll say this: there are definitely more on Twitter and all the socials in support of what Reese did than in disgust. The thing that I will note is Caitlin does play for Iowa.
Can't clip that part up for LinkedIn, Pat.
Hey, all right, whatever. How many brothers you know in Iowa, bro? Like, I'm just saying, bro. Like,
that's not going online.
Everybody black in Iowa was on the football team, bro. Come on now.
I don't understand why we sit there and try to police these women from playing. This, but like, I don't think people understand. Cheryl Miller was a trash talker. Like, people hated Reggie Miller. Yeah, because of how much trash you talk. Did y'all forget that Cheryl Miller was a dog? Like, I mean, come on now.
I tell Pat this all the time. It's always funny because they always laugh at Reggie, but Reggie's best comeback is like, you laughing at me like you ain't get this work last week. Like
come on now. Like
hey, it's crazy, man. I just think it was at the end of the day, two women was competing.
Yeah,
Caitlin Clark showed out the whole tournament.
That's the part I don't want to be lost, and I'm gonna let you finish, Steph. I just Kanye'd you a little bit. That's the part I don't want to be lost. We understand Caitlin is a dog.
Caitlin is hurt. Caitlin is hurt.
She is a dog.
Hey, I'm paying money to see her shoot. I'm sorry. I am.
Hey, bro. Hey, listen.
Where's you play at?
I hope it's the sky.
Well, we don't have no picks. We don't have no picks. So
man. But nah, yeah. At the end of the day, they definitely both competed. Caitlin's been a dog this whole time. I think she scored 193 points in total with 60 assists, which has basically never been done. I think in any tournament, men's or women's. But then you know, you come back, you was talking big at LSU, especially with the clip of Caitlin leaving Shorty open before the national championship game, and it was like, yo, we pretty much ain't trying to worry about guarding them, and then you come out and they basically killed you from three. But I mean, hey, this is the spirit of competition. She went up, they talked. Iowa lost. That is what it is.
I really want to know if they got beef. Like, I see the entire internet having beef on this. Like, do they got beef? Or did Caitlin come up after and be like, hey, listen, yeah, you got me on that one. Guess what? I see you at the next one. Bet I take a WNBA championship from. This is so normal. This is not even abnormal in sports. We saw Stephen Curry point to his ring finger with a quarter left in the NBA Finals.
Saw Aaron Donald in the middle of the field after a sack.
Aaron Donald at least had the courtesy to do it after the game-saving sack, though. Stephen Curry had a quarter of basketball to play. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown were on the other side. And he looked at him and said,
hey, let's not forget about Al Horford blowing that fatal kiss.
Al Horford blowing a kiss. You know what I mean? Like this is just like I think here's the thing, right? There's two issues I really have with everybody who's got beef with this. These are my two biggest issues. One, y'all ain't been watching.
I ain't been watching.
Why are you jumping in? I'm so sick of seeing these. I think I saw Keith Olbermann jump in on how many WNBA games you watched this year? How many women's college basketball games did you really watch this year? Like, y'all ain't been watching. So now you're jumping in, trying to make it a political thing when it's a sports thing, when it's a college sports thing, when it's a competitive thing. You haven't been watching. And on top of all of that, why are we holding these women to this standard that is not what we hold everybody else to? They're competitors. They are athletes. I ain't gonna lie to you. They would cook up half of y'all.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Like, why are we sitting here having this conversation about like these mothers are in less of a sport? Now, I get the whole WNBA don't make as much money. It's not as big as the NBA. I get all of that, right? But that don't mean she can't go out there and cook.
Hey, but that's the problem though. Everyone wants to make this something it's not. When you don't realize the eyes and attention that this rivalry in itself has created for women's basketball.
Oh my God, bro.
Women's basketball is at an all-time high right now because guess what? What was the one storyline that helped the NBA? What was the one college storyline that helped the NBA?
I'm about to say, is this Bird and Magic?
Thank you.
Is this Bird and Magic?
No one was sitting there talking that trash when Bird and Magic was going back and forth about it.
Hey, and this is the thing, right? This one makes it even more interesting. Let's forget, bro. Whoever would have won that game, that would have been their first collegiate championship, period.
Is this Bird and Magic, bro?
No one was saying anything about.
I don't know. Did Bird and Magic talk crazy to each other? I don't know if they talk crazy to each other. In the NBA, I know, but in college, was that a story?
All the time.
Nah, I think it wasn't until after they met though.
I know in the league. Well, no, I don't know. I don't know if it was a story, but what I say is this: the impact, like you're saying, is that it is that level of impact because I've always said this. I said the WNBA is kind of like what the NBA was in the 80s. When you watch a WNBA game, there's some women out there that you look at and you say, "Oh, she could cook me."
She could cook.
And then there's some chicks out there. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Shouldn't be out there.
You're not gonna beat me. You can attach that WNBA to you're not gonna beat me. Like there's a lot, and it's no disrespect. It's just where the league is, right? And when we get to the point where the WNBA is at a higher level of competition, where every single team has literally every player on there, where the worst player on there you can look at and be like, yeah, she gonna cook me. I can't compete with that.
Man, listen, if you all want to sit there and make this if they want to oversensitize this game and remove all the passion that these women are playing with right now, you're going to kill the product. And right now, I don't know if anyone's been listening, but the WNBA players themselves have been really, really passionate about how this game is marketed. Candace Park had a great segment on Draymond Green's podcast talking about how the game is packaged. Stuff like that. Like you got to really look at what we're asking these women to do. We're talking about them not getting paid enough and this, that, and the other. No one's watching. But when you put stuff on the court and you see stuff like this, well, people want to watch. People want to come. We're talking about it. People want to watch this. Let them play. Let them cook. And stop all this. The whole racial aspect of it. I hate that part because guess what? When Caitlin was doing it, no one was saying anything. Now that it's getting done back. No, we're going to leave that. It's a competitive sport. They were being competitive. She got shown up. Reese made sure she knew. Guess what? You know how you get her back? Whether it's next season in the NBA, next time you see her, you bust her tail on the court. That's how we know. That's how we know the game of basketball to be played. So shout out to them for just putting the world on notice, period. I don't think people are giving that enough credit. We're having an international conversation about WNBA. No, college women's basketball, period. College basketball. Imagine if we put this type of attention on them all the time.
And that's what it needs to be. I'm with you 100%. If they don't market these two, listen, Aces, shout out to them. They got Candace Parker. They got and Candace Parker speaking on just the fact that
she won a championship. Couldn't find her jersey, bro.
The fact that she's never had her own locker, the fact that she's never had a training facility. Now, I can almost deal with you ain't had your own locker, right? Because your brand isn't big enough to own a stadium where nobody else is going to play in. So you have to rent your time to stay. I can almost deal with that. You've never had a facility that you can't rent out or that you can't go into at 2 a.m. and get shots up? You've never had this ain't just the Sky, but I'm irritated more with it because of the Sky, because it's 2020 and 2021, 2022 when she was here. You know how many gyms are in Chicago?
Why couldn't they use the Wintrust Arena or Now Arena like the Windy City Bulls and stuff like that? Like, why? What is that about? Like, I don't know enough about the situation to like speak intelligently about it. I can't articulate that. So I'm really asking, like, a lot of these teams are connected to major NBA teams. Like, why don't they have access to these gyms the same way that the men do?
And that's my issue. How you ain't worked out some deal with the Bulls to say, hey, can we get keys? Oh, it's a key fob going to an athlete. They not about to be in there kicking and smoking stogies. It's a key fob going to an athlete that plays in your city. How are you not working out a deal with the Bulls or working out a deal with the Windy City Bulls or working out a deal with your local community centers that have gyms that are at the right dimensions where they can literally just go in there and work? How are we not doing this? So it's about the marketing. It's a problem with the WNBA. It's my biggest issue with the WNBA a lot of times because I am a fan of the WNBA. The WNBA don't seem to be a fan of the WNBA, though.
Yeah, we've been talking about that, and I think that's one of the bigger problems too, along with the scheduling, which
they did fix the scheduling this year. The scheduling is better. It's not nearly as many of those 2 p.m. games.
No. She mentioned it on that podcast. You had them competing against Super Bowl Sunday.
But see, that was
crazy.
Yeah, no,
that was crazy. No, not even that. When she was in Chicago, they put on a game on Bears-Packers weekend. And Muggs was looking at me crazy for saying, you not covering the Sky? Listen.
Dog.
It's Bears-Packers. It's Bears-Packers.
Let's be real. Whoever is running that particular ship, who's ever making those schedules is a disservice, is a huge disservice to them. Their own detriment. They shot themselves in the foot multiple times in the same season. Let me ask you this. Does anyone even know what game was played during the Super Bowl?
The Aces and was it the Aces and Sky when they was in the midseason tournament?
Yeah.
Essentially a playoff game.
Yeah.
Like,
I think
the game mattered. It was a big game.
It was the biggest game outside of the finals.
And I think they gotta fix it too now because of the simple fact that the WNBA now is trying to, should I say, super team era, because you got the Aces, the Liberty look like they're on their way.
They got there too quick.
Yeah,
that's the problem with the WNBA. That's the part that irritates me the most about the WNBA.
Hey,
you're trying to jump too quick. You know how long it took the NBA to get to a point. The NBA started in the early 1900s. Like, we literally are talking about 40 years of basketball, basically, where all our best players come from. And the NBA started in the early 1900s, bro. Like, it takes time. You got to baby step. You can't just jump to where the NBA is now. You can't just, we should be able to do just that because we see them in. Nah, it's not going to work that way. You got to build this thing up. You got to market this thing the right way. And there's people that literally, I can't tell y'all how many times people have literally said, like doing Sky Live calls, I'm here because I have no idea where to find the game. That's crazy. I'm here because I don't know what channel the game is on.
Wow, I didn't even know that part. That's crazy.
Like it's about marketing. When All-Star Weekend was here, I was like, what's happening? When are they doing stuff? What's going on? Like, does anybody know? And I'm calling Hayes.
We had to go to AD.
Listen, I called AD. I called Hayes. Hayes literally is covering these mugs professionally at this point. Shout out to Hayes. And he was like, bro, I don't know what's happening. Like, they said it's supposed to be here, but it's not an open event. You got to be like a season ticket member to go to it. And it is what it is. And I was like, what the heck was that? Like, I
kid y'all not. I was taking my wife out to brunch. We went downtown. We went South Loop, Chicago. The bar that we were at overlooked was right next to McCormick Place. I looked down from the rooftop and I was like, oh, it's a WNBA event. What event is that? She was like, yeah, how come you didn't know? I was like, I don't know. What event is that? Looked it up. It was an All-Star game. I was having brunch next to the All-Star game. Didn't even know it was there. That's a problem.
And it's not because we ain't looking. I know that's what a lot of people are going to say. You got to be looking for it.
No,
we are.
You have to.
we do this for a living. We are looking.
You have to let us know. If you don't really let us know, I would have went. I'm looking at the little games that they're playing outside, the shooting contests and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, that would have been hot. But my day was already planned because I didn't know.
Yeah.
It was there.
Nah,
it wasn't even in the arena. It should have been. It was across the street. Like all the games that was across the street. You think it would have been blocked off and stuff like that? No, regular traffic going through.
Yeah.
Like, hey, but by the way, they still talking expansion team.
Expansion teams. They trying to add more teams. That's the answer. Hey man, we appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. If the WNBA don't figure this out, like if you don't see this, what's coming as a marketing god. If you don't see this, what's coming as your angel that's coming down to save you, close your doors.
Who's the commissioner of the WNBA?
Kathy Engelbert. Kathy Engel.
No disrespect
to her name, Kathy. Just Kathy Engel.
No disrespect to Kathy, but I think the real thing they need to do is go ahead and merge. Let Adam manage both. Let him hire staff because the NBA is better at marketing that product. And their product, and the way that the WNBA is looking, the way the college is being played, like you want to know why it's going to take storm. I just saw Caitlin shoot threes from the logo.
Mm-hmm.
There's guys who can't do that,
bro. There's
guys. No, seriously, there's guys who can't do that. You mean to tell me now that we're making it? It ain't about the physicality; it's about the skill now.
They have the ability to take off, bro.
Like Steph Curry don't dunk; he shoot threes, and we love it. I want to see Caitlin shoot threes. Somebody needs to place a call. Like that needs to happen. It's a bunch of people with a lot of money. They ain't got a whole lot of sense right now, and I ain't understanding it. But go ahead. I'm sorry, I hijacked that.
No, is it? No, I'm right there with you, bro. Honestly, like it's
go off.
It's mind blowing to think that they could miss this opportunity. And here's the thing: none of us sitting here right now are confident that they're going to take advantage of it. That's the problem. I don't know
an issue because right now, like I said, you're in a perfect situation to eat because you have you're quote unquote on one hand in the super team era with the teams that's formed already. But then not only that, the women that are coming out of the draft are legitimate ballers, bro.
This makes you miss Kobe even more.
Aaliyah Boston. Like even though she didn't win player of the year here, dog. She's a dog.
This makes you miss Kobe so much because I honestly feel like there's no way that this opportunity would be missed with people who were as invested as he was, and he had daughters that were definitely trying to make the league, right?
Yeah.
That's a tough thought to have.
I just think that there's going to be I love Kobe. No disrespect to Kobe in the slightest. There's no bigger push than the NBA. Kobe's not bigger than the league that he helped grow. So the NBA is behind you. You just got to make the right decisions. That's all it is. You got to make the right decisions. The problem is we don't have the confidence for them to make the right decision. I ain't gonna lie to you. Integrity be dang. Tamper. If you don't put these mugs on two rival teams,
tamper.
Yep. You ain't got to do it every year, right? Listen, we know we wasn't supposed to get D Rose.
Tamper.
Tamper.
Hey, the Knicks was not supposed to get Patrick Ewing.
Tamper. The Lakers wasn't supposed to get Magic. Tamper. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not sitting here talking about the integrity of the game. You might not have a game.
Man, there ain't no integrity in this game. It's all lies. It's smoke and mirrors. People know what's going on. LeBron, hey, we know as soon as Clutch Sports gets involved, we know some roster changes is happening with LeBron's best friends. Tampa.
Hey, listen, I don't think it happens all the time, but I do think there are moments where the WNBA or where the NBA literally be like, storyline's too good to pass up. Can't let that one go. Derrick Rose comes home, wins an MVP. Can't let that one go. It's some stories it's just too good to be true.
They gave everybody their script.
Let's be real. If Caitlin gets some more help and they run that back, that's gonna be a game. And it's not like Iowa was weak, but I mean, LSU was clearly the better team.
Realistically, they could because Angel Reese is like that, but Fly J, first of all, got bars, but can get a bucket too.
Here's the wild part. Let me ask y'all this before we get up out of here. Are they making more money this offseason staying in college with these NIL deals than she will going to the WNBA?
I believe
there's no way she's not getting at least $1 million this offseason off of these NIL deals.
Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, and maybe Fly J is, but I can't speak for everybody else.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. But guess what? That's the face of the WNBA. That's your next face. Like, legit, right now, I'll bet you more people know these three women's name than they know WNBA players.
It's a fact because listen. That's a
fact. I know a bunch of them. I can sit there and rattle off names to you all day because I sit there and I cover the league a little bit and we live call the games and we talk about these players all the time. And there's players that I really, but there's no way you can't tell me these three ladies' names right here. Absolutely. And I don't think they, what year is she? Is she a junior or sophomore? She'll be a sophomore going into next year, right?
Who?
Angel Reese.
Oh, no. She won't because I think she. I don't want to get it wrong because I think she played. I think she.
No, she'll be a senior. She'll be a senior.
Yeah, because
she'll be a senior.
She played for Maryland 2 years, and I think she got hurt.
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know if she got the year of eligibility. If they also get the year of eligibility for the COVID year. I didn't know if she got anything with that. But man, listen, fam, that's your future. And they might be able to make more money staying in college. It's crazy to say. But hey, man, we appreciate y'all for showing love to the channel, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in as always, man. Hey, I know it started a little late today. Hopefully this won't be the case tomorrow and everything will work perfectly. But the Daily Show is back, baby. We back in the building. And we got a soundboard.
Let's get it. I love it.
We'll hopefully be live from 9 to 10 every day. That's the goal here. But if we have technical difficulties, we'll be live whenever we can get to y'all, man. Appreciate y'all for showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. Make sure to listen on the podcast app if you missed any of it as well. If you're listening on the podcast side, leave a 5-star review, man. Don't be a bum. As always, it's your boy, Pat the Designer, back at it again, joined by the pettiest man alive, Mr. P. Kid, and of course, the man formerly known as Ringo J. Stefan the Don. Hey, yo, Chicago! Y'all stay safe out there, man. Peace.